scramble into descending zone.
Hello, today is September 13, 2019, and today I'm going to be demonstrating the checklist feature in ForeFlight. Let's bring up ForeFlight and we'll show you what the plan is for today. So we're going to take off from Tacoma Narrows Airport. That's Kilo Tango India Whiskey. That's our location right there on the airport. And we're going to fly over to Bremerton National, which is Kilo Papa Whiskey Tango. It's, as you can see down here, a 15 nautical mile flight, just a short one. And that'll allow us to work through all our checklist items from startup, taxi, run-up, takeoff, climb, descent, and landing. So we're going to go here to the lower right in our ForeFlight where it says More, and I'm going to click on that. And we're going to show you how to add an aircraft. Now, depending on the subscription level for ForeFlight, this is the premium. The premium subscription allows you to pull an aircraft out of the ForeFlight database. So we're going to just type in one here. So we're going to click on this plus symbol in the upper right hand side, and we're going to type in the type of aircraft. So I'm going to click on that, and then in the search field up above, I'm going to type in Baron 58 because that's an airplane I do need to add. So Baron 58 search, there it is. There's a number of variants that come up. We're just going to select the Baron 58 at the top, and then you would put in a tail number. So let's just go ahead and put in, for now, just a 1, 2, 3, 4. So now when we go back to our aircraft, you're going to see the Baron 58 right there. November 1, 2, 3, 4 right at the top. And then when you click on that, it's going to have a number of data that are taken from the Pilot Operating Handbook. You can customize these data if you want to based on your specific aircraft. So for now, I'm going to click up here where it says aircraft, go back to our list, and I'm going to click on the airplane that we're in right now, which is the default 7428 Romeo. And there's all the data for this airplane. And this is right out of the POH from the actual airplane. Okay, so that's how you add an aircraft, and you can add any aircraft that's in X-Plane. You can manually add them, pull them out of their database, and customize them. And I'm going to show you the advantage of doing that. In addition to calculating when you do a flight plan in ForeFlight, in addition to calculating all of the performance data into your flight plan and briefing, it also gives you the ability to work through your checklist. So here at the top, we're going to click on checklist, and we're going to click on the airplane that we're flying right now, which is the Piper Cherokee. And I've customized this. I pulled the generic one out, and I went through and made edits to all of these various items in the checklist. So we're going to click on the first one, which is pre-flight inspection. Now, I'm not going to work through every pre-flight checklist item here because most of them is external checks on the airplane and fuel samples and things like that. But this is broken down into cockpit, right wing, left wing, and then it goes to the fuselage and then back into the cockpit. So we're just going to work through these first cockpit items here, and then we're going to go through the startup procedures. So I'm going to click down here where it says speak and work through each item.
Parking brake, set. Documents and handbook, onboard, arrow. Tachometer, note. Control wheel, release belts. Emergency equipment, check. Magnetus, off. Master switch, on. Fuel quantity, check. Fuel selector, fullest tank. Pitot heat, check. Nav and strobe lights, check. Cockpit lighting, check. Landing light, check. Rotating beacon, check. Strobes, check. Master switch, off. Circuit breakers, check in. Flaps, extended. Radios and avionics, off. Magnetus, off. All switches, off. Mixture, idle cutoff. Flight controls, check. Trims, check set neutral. Windows, check clean. Baggage, secure. Shield, clean.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there and bring back up ForeFlight here, and we're going to move on to our next checklist item. So I'm going to click the back button up here. Again, that's because we're not going to do the external pre-flight checks. And I'm going to write down here to before starting engine.
Flight inspection, complete. Passenger. Cabin door, close and secure. Set. Flaps, retract. Adjust. Seatbelts, secure. Radios and avionics, off. Master switch, off. Magnetus, off. Off. Passengers, briefed. Checklist complete.
So as you can see, once you work through a subgroup, so this entire subgroup is complete, it gives you the option to go right to the next item. I'm going to click the back button here just to show you. So now you can see that there's a full green circle and a check mark showing us that we've completed every checklist in this subgroup. Here you can see pre-flight inspection was not complete, and that was intentional because we're only doing the cockpit portion. So now we're going to go back here to before starting engine, and down here again we're going to click starting engine. Once again, we're going to have it speak through each item.
Model 1/4 inch. Mixture, full rich. Carburetor heat, cold. Prime, if engine cold. Fuel selector, confirm fullest tank. Master switch, on. Rotating beacon, on. Circuit breakers, check in. Pump, on pressure off. Propeller area, clear. Magnetus, both. Starter, engage. Throttle, 800 revolutions per minute. Oil pressure, check. Checklist complete.
Okay, we have a good start. I'm going to go to the next checklist item. Bring up ForeFlight. And here's taxi.
Box, removed. Radios and avionics, on and set.
Now I'm going to pause it, give us a chance to set our radios. So we have ATIS 12405, and we are tuned to ground 118.5 tower in standby. So we're good there.
Radios and avionics, on and set. Transponder, standby. Addison clearance, copied.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and copy our ATIS.
Tacoma Narrows Information India. 1400 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility 7. Sky clear, temperature 14, dew point -7. Altimeter 3012. Arriving runway 35, departing runway 35. Advise on initial contact you have India.
Okay, India is current and runway 35 is in use. So we're going to go ahead and click resume.
Addison clearance, copied. Lights, as required. Taxi area, clear. Mixture, lean for taxi. Throttle, apply slowly. Brakes, check. Steering, check. Checklist complete.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and contact ground and get our takeoff limits. Tacoma ground, Cherokee 7428 Romeo, North Hangars, departure to the west, taxi with India. Cherokee 7428 Romeo, Tacoma ground, taxi runway 35 via taxiway Bravo 2 Alpha. Runway 35 via Bravo 2 Alpha, 28 Romeo. So at any time we can click over here on maps. We can bring up our map view. I'm going to click show plate, airport diagram, just to show where we are on our taxiway. Particularly useful in an unfamiliar airport. And you can go back to your checklist at any point just by clicking on the more at the lower right and then back to checklist.
Approaching runway 35.
Alright, back to checklist. Okay, so now down here, and before takeoff, we're going to go ahead and select that. And again, we're going to select the speak option.
Brakes, set. Seats and seat belts, check. Directional gyro, set. Artificial horizon, set. Altimeter, set. Fuel quantity, check. Fuel selector timer, on and set. Primer, in and locked. Mixture, rich. Throttle, 1,800 revolutions per minute.
So I'm going to pause it there. There's 1,800, resuming.
Throttle, 1,800 revolutions per minute. Magnetus, check right left.
Checking right magneto. Left.
Magnetus, check right left. Carburetor heat, check. Vacuum, check. Oil temperature, check. Fuel pressure, check. Oil pressure, check. Landing light, on. Ammeter, check with load. Throttle, idle. Fuel pump, on. Radios and avionics, on and set. Lights, as needed.
Switch over to tower frequency. Landing light is on, strobes are on.
Lights, as needed. Transponder, altitude. Flaps, set for takeoff. Cabin door, latched. Checklist complete.
Okay. So now we're at our takeoff checklist, which is lights, camera, action. Lights are set. Camera transponder is set to altitude, and action is going to be lift off at 75 miles per hour and then climb at 85. So we're going to taxi up to the hold short line and get our takeoff clearance. Tower set, 18.5. Tacoma Tower, Cherokee, 7428 Romeo, holding short, runway 35. Cherokee, 7428 Romeo, Tacoma Tower, windcom, runway 35, clear for takeoff, west departure approved. Clear for takeoff, runway 35, west departure approved, 28 Romeo. So we're going to make a left turn out to the west after takeoff once we reach pattern altitude. Instruments are in the green, and airspeed indicator is alive, and power is available. And off the ground. Set VY climb at 85 miles per hour.
Great. Flaps up. 85 miles per hour. 74 kts. Best angle. Flaps up. 75 miles per hour. 65 kts. En route climb. 100 miles per hour. 87 kts. Throttle. Full. Mixture. Lean above 3,000 feet. Carburetor heat. Coal. Electric fuel pump. Off at cruise altitude. Checklist complete.
Alright, so we're going to cruise at 3,000 feet.
Bremerton National Weather. Wind calm, visibility 7. Sky clear, temperature 14, dew point -7. Altimeter 3012. Bremerton National Weather. Wind calm, visibility 7. Sky clear, temperature 14, dew point -7. Altimeter 3012.
Alright, cruise altitude set. I'm going to bring ForeFlight back up here. Go through our cruise checklist.
Flaps, check up. Fuel pump, off. Throttle, 55-75% power. Mixture, adjust as required. Trims, set. Lights, as required. Fuel balance, monitor. Checklist complete.
Alright, next checklist is going to be our descent. Plan on landing runway 20. So we're going to enter a left downwind for 20, make a normal landing. Bremerton traffic, Cherokee 7428 Romeo, 10 miles southeast. Full stop landing, Bremerton traffic.
Throttle, 2,300 revolutions per minute. Fired. Fired. Landing light. Lead. So we're going to begin our descent. Full selector, fullest tank. Seat belts and harnesses, check. Fuel pump, on. Mixture, rich below 3,000 feet. Flaps, set as required. Trims, set as required. Final approach speed flaps 40 masculine ordinal, 80 miles per hour, 70 kts. Checklist complete.
Alright, pattern altitude 1,400. is on, landing light is on. Carburetor heat's on, mixture set, full rich. Traffic, Cherokee 7428 Romeo is entering a left downwind, runway 20 Bremerton.
Hundred.
Bremerton traffic, Cherokee 7428 Romeo is clear of the runway. That's going to bring back ForeFlight and checklist.
Flaps retracted. Throttle. 100 revolutions per minute. Pitot heat off. Fuel pump off. Transponder standby. Lights as required. Checklist complete.
Now, for the most part, those checklist items, generally speaking, your climb, cruise, and after landing, or your approach and landing and after landing checklist items, you're going to have those memorized. So that's a high workload time period when you're entering a pattern, trying to pay attention to traffic and those sorts of things. So those you're going to want to commit to memory. And I'm going through them using ForeFlight just to demonstrate its capabilities. So we're going to park over here. We'll do a quick debrief and be on our way. Okay, I'm going to go through shutdown.
Trick fuel pump. Confirm off. Radios and avionics off. Master switch off. Mixture idle cutoff. Magnetus off. Tachometer note. Checklist complete.
All right, so bring ForeFlight back up here, take a look at our flight track. So again, the green line is our breadcrumbs, represents our flight path. And there's our entry to downwind base, and typically doesn't show the final for some reason. In any case, that's a quick demo of the checklist capability in ForeFlight. Again, you can set that up to any airplane. You don't have to have the subscription that has the airplanes in its database. You can create your own airplanes for, again, that's for performance data in your flight planning, as well as your checklist items. So hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.